What's happening, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of my collection update, the 7-inch edition. While we're talking, we're going to be listening to Sacrificia Mortuorum's Marturum Est. All you guys going crazy about the Black Cilice and the fucking Obscuritatum and that fucking garbage just makes me feel like everybody forgot that there has already been a shit ton of great, nasty black metal stuff that had come out in the last 20 years. So it's kind of got me in the mood to like listen to more of that kind of stuff. So that's a French black metal band that rules. So one thing I forgot to show off in my last video, actually kind of a couple of things. I also picked up this When Bitter Spring Sleeps shirt from my buddy at Pagan Flames. You can get one yourself as well if you buy one from paganflames.com. Support this killer act. So, my buddy, I rated his distro, got a bunch of stuff out of there, and he also mentioned, hey, I'm thinking about getting rid of all my 7 inches, and I was like, So, I picked up a bunch of 7 inches from him. Also picked up this cassette. I didn't really know what it was, but just had to jump on it before it goes out there into oblivion. So this is called Hardanger Vida, and this is a side project of Iltjarn, and I'm a pretty big fan of Iltjarn. So there's really not much to this. Track list on the back there. I think this might be just an ambient kind of thing, so it might not be all that much to write home about. But anyways, looking forward to checking that out. Also got, before we get into the 7 inches, he's getting rid of his zine collection, and I don't know, I kind of collect zines, but I don't know, they're not really of much use anymore, but I picked up a couple that were kind of nostalgic and had some big names on the side. This is Shooter on the cover of this one. This one's called Nightwalk Zine. Carpathian Forest, Borknagar, Shining, Eternus, Ordo Draconis, Cold, Thorns. Thorns was a big one for me. Looking forward to reading this Thorns interview. Forefather by Catafalque, and also Lunar Aurora was an interesting one. I'm looking forward to checking that out. But I always love digging through these things and just looking at the old ads and stuff. This is from 2002. Lots of photos. It's not a full color zine or anything, but I don't know. Does it matter when it's a bunch of black metal album covers? So then I got this one, Freezing Flames zine. I've never heard of this thing, so I just really grabbed it. A lot of cool bands in this one. It really was just the cover, I think. Oh, and the fact that it has an interview with Midden Division 187. As far as I know, they've only given 2 interviews over the years, so I don't know. That was something to grab my attention. A lot of cool photos in there. So yeah, a couple old zines to add to the collection. Let's get into these 7 inches. There's a lot of killer stuff in here. As you know, probably I'm not a big vinyl head or anything, but just having the stuff from my buddy's collection, and just I kind of like having these chunks of his collection added to mine. And there's some killer stuff in here that I couldn't pass up for a good price. So we got Zaster, split with Black Circle. This came out on Turanian Honor Productions, limited to 888 copies. I don't really know. I haven't spun very many of these. A couple of them I have. I just got them last night, so and a lot of them I'm not super familiar with, so bear with me or what have you. But next we've got a picture disc from Horna. This is Talismani. And this is 2 songs. One of them is from the pre-Horna days when they were called Shadowed. And that track is really killer. And another one is just like a different version of a song that wound up on another one of their albums. Viha Vicati or something like that. I don't know. It's a Horna 7-inch. Next we've got Dissection with The Grief Prophecy. Not real. Total fucking bootleg. But it's too charming to pass up. This song, as far as I know, I don't have one of these songs severed into shreds, the version from this demo, on any of the posthumous releases. It comes on a fucking blank 45. That just screams bootleg. And also the cover of The Grief Prophecy was not this band photo, nor this shitty logo. So, I don't know. This is their demo from 91, back when they were like seriously more of a death metal band. The second side has the Call of the Mist, which I do have on the reissue of the Somber Lane that has some demo tracks on it. Anyways, Ventericate. I don't know. This is called Aura, I guess. This came out on Ketzer Productions. There's a ton of really impossible to read text on the backside of that. Big shocker. So I don't know the first thing about this thing. The problem with Ventericate that I've always found, and the reason I've never actually gotten any of his stuff, is because you never know if it's going to be a boring ambient release or a black metal release. So I've just actually never bothered listening to any of his stuff. Call it laziness. Next we've got Chaos Omen with Life Begone. Pretty big fan of this guy's projects. He's in a couple other bands. I'm not going to... Maybe Heresy, I think, is another one of them. Anyways, this guy produced the early Watain albums, and I really like the sound on those things. So, why not pick this up? Perverted Taste put it up. Put it out. Unpleasant Wax Release is what it says. I've had a couple of Unpleasant Wax releases. That's a bad joke. Just on black vinyl, so I won't bother showing you that. Next, how about a little bit of Broken Hope? This came out on Metal Blade. This, I think, was probably just a promotional kind of deal because these songs were on Bowels of Repugnance. But, yeah, I'm not going to pass on anything by Broken Hope. I heard that the album they did last year for Century Media was pretty good. I'm kind of curious about checking that out. Next, we've got a 7-inch from Bestial Mockery, split with Canarium. I really like both bands. I kind of hate splits because I don't ever know where to put them. But whatever. I was just kind of cleaning house when I picked these out. Artwork was done by the dude from Bestial Mockery. And yeah, Bestial Mockery is just some killer Swedish nastiness. Next, how about Impurity? This is like a... they're from the East somewhere. But Nuclear War Now Productions put this out many years ago, and I kind of wanted to pick it up, but I never got around to it. So I'm happy to finally have a copy of it. I took this out of the sleeve yesterday, and it was so hard to get back in, so I probably shouldn't do it. Seems like Nuclear War Now has gotten a lot better at packaging their 7 inches. We got a lot of ground to cover, so we got to pick up the pace. Next, we've got Melichesh. This is a picture disc 7-inch. All these are 7 inches, of course. Kind of hate these fucking sleeves because they are just bound to scratch your shit up. But look at that fucking artwork on there. I'm a really big fan of Melichesh, killer live band. This, I think, is a re-recorded or just remastered version of an old song. Let's see. Tarot Productions are basically Proscriptor from Absu is Tarot Productions. Put this out. This is recorded in 95. Trying to think. Okay, this must have been like maybe a song from their Burn As Jerusalem Burns album or something like that. I'm not sure what's on this, but yeah. Picture disc 7-inch from Melichesh. Next, we've got Acrebelts, split with Armageddon. Fuck these guys. Acrebelts is a cool band from Spain. Kind of sounds like early Immortal. I'm a pretty big fan of them. Next, we've got Taste of Fear. So this was given to my buddy by Daryl Cahan of Taste of Fear from back when he lived here in Iowa. So most people know, actually this is a split with Evolve to Obliteration. Taste of Fear, I believe, got their start here in Iowa, moved out to Jersey, got kind of famous. It's not really my kind of thing. It's like hardcore punk kind of stuff. And then Daryl Cahan started to get into metal. No, he got into metal actually here. He was friends with a couple of my friends and stuff. But he moved up to Jersey, started Abazagorath, and what's that other band that he's in? Funebrarum. He also was in Funebrarum. So, yeah, Taste of Fear. I just picked it up. So this is kind of a weird release, and you may remember in my Immortal video, I showed off another release by this kind of bootleg label. Really, really strange kind of thing we got here, but I just thought, I don't think I have any posthumous or bootleg or whatever releases of the early Darkthrone demos. So this is actually a CD that comes in a 7-inch package, and it has the Land of Frost demo, the New Dimension demo, the Thulkandra demo, and the Chromlech demo. All 4 of them on here. And so here's what it comes in. It's just a really weird sort of hodgepodge, unabashedly bootleg kind of release. This came out in 2007 on Renatio Records. And they put a bunch of weird extra stuff in here. There's like some interviews or something. I guess it's a bunch of quotes from famous musicians on the influence of Darkthrone's music. I don't really know. I'm actually looking forward to getting into this and figuring out what is in this. But it's kind of weird that a release is like a bootleg, but it puts so much effort into actually making it kind of a worthwhile thing to have. I thought there was another little flyer in here somewhere. But yeah, that's what that is. I don't think I have any other stuff on any other format, so yeah. I think there's also some like bonus computer footage, like CD-ROM kind of stuff. If you put it in your computer, there's like interviews and special collector material for fans of Unholy black metal exclusively. Mega Fan Edition. I am definitely a mega fan of Darkthrone, if you know anything about me. Next, we've got a split between Sargeist and Temple of Baal. I believe this is the first split that they ever put out. Really love Sargeist's debut. Honestly, I like all their stuff. I just haven't really gotten around to buying any of it, except for Satanic Black Devotion. Black vinyl. Grieve Unti Productions put this out, and that is Shetraug from Horna. A lot of killer, like, Finnish kind of stuff from the early 2000s in here, so I don't know, I really like a lot of this shit. Next this is so fucking good. Mournful Congregation split with Stabat Mater. Never know how to pronounce that, but talk about a fucking killer split. Paniac put this out. I think it's limited to 300 copies. Black vinyl. Just super great material from both of these bands. Michael Laura, if you're watching and you aren't familiar with Stabat Mater, I highly recommend checking them out. I think they're totally up your alley. Actually, this is limited to 500 copies, so that's a little high run for Paniac. But yeah, super happy to have a copy of this. Mournful Congregation is one of the best funeral doom bands there ever was. Stabat Mater, they're pretty good. The only thing wrong with Stabat Mater really is that they recorded this song that was like 20 minutes long called... I'm going to forget what it's called. The song was called Above Him after a little bit of research, and it was featured on the Crushing the Holy Trilogy compilation. And that song is one of the most amazing atmospheric funeral doom songs I have ever heard. It's amazing. But none of Stabat Mater's material stacks up quite as great as that song. So really that's the only thing I could say about Stabat Mater. Dude from Clandestine Blaze, Deathspell Omega, Nicole 12, tons of other projects. This is his doom band. It's a really interesting kind of thing. It's like funeralistic, but also he kind of borrows upon or is influenced by some more kind of stonerish sort of riffs. So it has a nice sort of melding of several different genres or subgenres of doom metal. And it's super minimalistic, super atmospheric, and it's just really well done stuff. Next! Tenebrae in Perpetuum's very first 7-inch. I love this fucking band. This is called A Black Flame's Age. Packaging on this is really, really slick looking. Love that lacquer veneer. Debemer Morty put this out, limited to 300 copies. It's like a gatefold kind of deal here. A lot of these, like 7 inches, I don't really get into. First of all, you got to get up and turn them every other song. of course, so that's a pain in the butt. But a lot of them, they're just kind of hard to get out and in the sleeves, and you're fucking up the stuff that you spent a lot of money on or kind of valuable things. So a lot of times I don't even really fuck with playing 7 inches very often. And also, again, like, there's nothing to do down here but shoot videos. So I'm not going to put on a record and do anything down here, really. There's not much to do in my music room. It's not like it's not like it's in my bedroom and I can, listen to music and play video games or exercise or whatever. So I'm just kind of not the biggest vinyl head. And you can't take LPs in your car. Next, we've got a 7 inches from Canarium. This is a German band. This was put out on Blood Harvest. Don't really know a lot about these guys, but man, they're fucking brutal ismo. Black vinyl, don't need to look at that much, but yeah, kind of always meant to get some of their stuff. What is this insert? Just looks like a lyric sheet or something like that. But yeah, brutal death metal from Germany. I think there's a member of Lunar Aurora in Canarium, and that's how I became familiar with them. Next, we've got Cauldron Black Ram with the Devil Bellied. Really, really interesting band. Just got some amazing riffs. Members of fucking everything. Mournful Congregation, Sacrifix, Portal, stuff like that. It's really interesting stuff. I guess I would say maybe more on the traditional side of things. More just let's write good riffs kind of stuff. Just a little black vinyl kind of thing. Pirate-themed albums, by the way. Not a lot of pirate-themed metal bands. Next, we have another Ventura kit. This is a 3 7-inch, triple 7-inch box. And again, I don't know, is this a ambient one or a black metal one? Not sure. Super tiny writing. All in German, so who fucking cares? Yeah, I don't know the first thing about this thing. It comes with some art postcards. And looks like one is on black vinyl. Another one is splatter gray. That's kind of cool. And the third one, I guess, white? Yeah, white. That's kind of neat. That way you can tell the difference between all of them, since they're all in German and probably all sound the same. That's Ventura kit. Next, this is really fucking cool. I've got a Der Kette split with Nunslaughter. Hand numbered, number 97 out of 500. Der Kette is a death metal band from the East Coast that I've been meaning to get a copy of some of their stuff. Whoa, this is Triumvir Foul's first 7-inch. Let's see here. It is called An Oath of Blood and Fire. Black vinyl. Haven't played it. Don't know what it's like, but I did listen to their album after hearing all the praise a couple years ago, or actually last year probably. Interesting stuff. This is hilarious. So there's this label called, called Goat Watchers United. And every band on here, this is a 4-way split between Goat Messiah, Goat Wrath, Goat Seaman, and Goat Vengeance. Yeah. And this is hand numbered out of number 333. The first 66 with a limited Goat special. Yeah. Pretty terrible material. In fact, Goat Vengeance is one of the funniest things I've ever fucking heard. This comes with... Actually, wait. So my copy... No, I did not get a Goat special. I was wondering about that. Just a Xerox little poster. God, who would I be if I bothered putting that up on my wall, huh? What would you think of me? Next, we've got... Oh, man, this is fucking killer, too. This is the first 7-inch that Baptism ever put out. Black Ceremony. I really dig early Baptism stuff. Black Ceremony of Hate on one side and Forgotten Temple of Death on the other. Faustian Distribution put this out back in 2004, I would say. Faustian Distribution was a label that we used to trade with quite a bit, and he put out some killer stuff, and it's pretty rare. He did some Drook stuff and we never heard from him all of a sudden. he just kind of disappeared on the face of the earth. So happy to have a copy of another Faustine distribution. And last but not least, how about Abhorror with Upheaval of Blasphemy? I don't know if this is like an OG thing. I have a I don't know if it's a reissue kind of thing. Again, this is a 45, but I don't think this is a bootleg. Yeah, death metal from Singapore, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Singapore. The label that put this out, oh my gosh. SHIV Shivadarshana out of Holland. Yeah, I can't really tell if this is actually old or what, because this, judging by this band photo, looks like, I don't know, sarcophago era kind of stuff. But I'm pretty sure this came out in, I don't know, post 2000 or something like that. But yeah, there's that. So that's what I'm going to be adding to my 7-inch collection. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time. Bye.